Longest running radio programs of its type. It's been on the air since 1967 and brought to you by Apex Bank of Camden. 3 locations in Camden, Big Sandy and Brewston. Today's program after this.
Hello everyone, this is Marcus Vine and Sean Hattler with Apex Bank of Camden, and we're getting ready for our 14th annual Easter egg hunt.
That's right, and it's West Tennessee's largest Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 16th, 11 a.m. at Briarwood School Field. There will be over 10,000 eggs, lots of prizes, and the Easter Bunny will be there.
So don't miss it, folks. Bring the children ages 2 to 8, and we will see you on Saturday, April 16th at 11 a.m. at Briarwood Field. Happy Easter, everyone, from Apex Bank.
Apex Bank, building stronger communities together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Operation 7570 on this Saturday morning, second Saturday of April 2022. Great to have you with us in the studios, listening out in Radio Land today and upon Facebook Live. Actually, in the studios today, 2 outstanding guests, and we're going to talk about an event we've missed the past couple of years up at Holiday. It's coming up next weekend, traditionally on the third weekend of April each and every year. We haven't had it the last 2 years because of the pandemic, but we're going to give you all the information that you want to know about the old-time Bluegrass and Fiddlers Jamboree scheduled next weekend in Holiday, Tennessee. And to do that, no one better than Stokes and Katelyn Spivey. Welcome, young lady, young man. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for getting up.
And thank you for having us.
Hey, are we going to have better weather? We need some good, it's sunny out there. That's a change, and we need some nice warm weather for next weekend.
And I believe we're going to get it. I think it's going to be a rainy week that will lead up to a really nice sunny weekend.
We're looking forward to it, and as always, when I have a guest on the program, I've had you 2 in times past on different programs, but in case there's new people listening to us on the radio, watching us on Facebook, I like a little background information. Stephen, let's start with you about your background.
All right, so I teach at Holiday, and I've been teaching there for about 20 years. And prior to this, of course, I've grown up in Holiday, so I've had a hand in the Fiddlers contest for many years, probably for a little over 40 years.
And Katelyn, I mean, it was just a gimme that you were going to grow up fiddling around.
You know, and Stephen didn't mention this, but his parents and my grandparents actually started the Fiddlers contest. That was like their senior project or something like that.
I think their junior project.
Okay.
And so that would have been like in 1956.
Mm-hmm. And so we're all just tied into the Fiddlers contest. This is all I've ever known. It's my favorite weekend of the year. And grown up in Holiday, live in Holiday, and the Fiddlers contest is just something that we have really missed the last 2 years, and we're so excited to be back.
We were talking just a moment ago before we went on the air. As a matter of fact, Stephen and I were talking about the history, and he mentioned, your grandparents and Betty Jo Douglas and Charles and the folks that were up there then on the very beginning in 1956. And there are still a few still out there that remembers that first one that haven't missed the Fiddlers contest.
Yes. And they come every year. They're so dedicated and involved, and they were actually our grand marshals in 2019.
That's right.
The last time that we were able to have the contest, and it was so bittersweet as we were reminiscing in 2020 when we couldn't have it, looking back at them being the grand marshals and them talking about the memories, because it was hard on us, but it was really hard on them because they saw it get started, and then when the first year without it was just very difficult.
Now, we want to focus, and it's going to be our main focus this morning, the Fiddlers contest next weekend and the Bluegrass Festival. We're going to talk about that, but Katelyn, you and Stephen both wear many hats, and Katelyn, I've got to ask you about your association with the Camden Downtown Business Association then, and I saw a drone up on Facebook, a drone video 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think Jonathan Bailey did, and are we planning some new things for the Court Square down the road?
Yes, we have been so fortunate to have a good team come together for the Downtown Business Association. The businesses have supported us so well, and Mayor Roger Pafford and Mayor Randy Shannon have been great to help us with anything that we've wanted to do downtown and help us find additional funding where we needed it. We got a Christmas tree this past year that Mr. Shannon helped us get, and then Mr. Pafford's helped us with all new lights, but we wanted to do some other big things. So Heather Deckard-Smith at the UT Extension Office, Mr. Randy, Mr. Roger, and myself and some others got together and applied for a grant for the Tennessee Downtown program. Unfortunately, we did did not get in the program this year. Some other small communities got that grant in Middle and East Tennessee and 2 in West Tennessee, but we're going to apply again the next time that's available. But it really opened our eyes to what is out there for our community. So we're excited for some things that we have coming down the pipeline and to get the community involved with that.
And I noticed that you worked with some with the Lori and the fine folks out at the Benton County Camden Chamber, and what's good for City of Camden is good for entire Benton County, Big Sandy, and Holiday.
It is. Miss Lori's been great to work with on the Christmas parade, and Christmas on the Square was our first event to work together, and it went really well. We were really pleased with everything.
Well, keep us up to date on that, and we'll get more and more into it as time goes along, and have you and some more folks from the Camden Downtown Business Association on a future program. We'll look forward to that. Well, Stephen, back to Holiday right now. You're a member of the TRDD board, I believe it is. Tell me about the association, what that board is, and where they fit into next weekend's activity.
Well, we're very thankful for the Tennessee River Resort District Act that was passed. I was on the commission back then. I think that was in 2006 when we voted that in. And ever since, it has really generated a lot of funds that we can use throughout the county to showcase these events that come up. And we're so proud of this young leadership that's coming up here too, and in marketing our county. As far as next weekend, it's the Fiddlers contest is always held the third weekend in April. It's one of the first tourism opportunities that our county has. And so with that, we like to kick things off like the Big Sandy Spring Festival, the Legends Cruisers. That will start a couple of weekends away. We have Aviation Day. We have many different fishing tournaments that are scheduled for the summer. So we're proud to be one of the first events that kicks off this tourism opportunities for the year in Benton County, so we can bring people in and showcase what we have.
In case people have never been to an event like scheduled next week in Holiday, Tennessee, tell me, what's it all about and what are people in store for next weekend?
Well, it's barbecue and music.
Yeah.
And buck dancing. And, when we first put something out, we said we're back with barbecue, bluegrass, and buck dancing, because those are the 3 things we're known for. We kick the day off with the parade, and then the food. It's just, you smell the barbecue cooking all Friday and Saturday, and then you hear that bluegrass music, and it's just something you cannot explain unless you've been there.
That's right.
And you, some of the younger generation, of course, but you've been there for several of these events, and you wouldn't miss it.
I would not miss it. I was 7 months pregnant with Scout, and I said, I don't care if my feet are swollen. I'm going to work. I'm going to be there for all of it.
And did.
I did. But it was just, it's the camaraderie of everyone that we pull together and pull off something that's been going for 64 years. There's so many good memories there. We've made so many good friends from across the state, from outside the state. Our fiddle player in the house band used to play for Vince Gill. We've went on and had people go on and have very successful careers that have played many bluegrass competitions in Holiday. Ryan Holiday, for example, he has played numerous times at the Fiddlers contest, and we're known for this. If you ask someone about West Tennessee, they will know Holiday and bluegrass.
As you go way back with the history, Stephen, I remember folks, and y'all were little in the day, you may remember this, but folks like John Hartford, who wrote Gentle on My Mind for Glenn Campbell, he was a contestant up there.
That's
and
correct.
he just came, just for the enjoyment. He didn't care about winning. He just wanted to go up there. He enjoyed the small community activities. Mike Snyder has been there, and we were talking about a younger girl right now, Ivy Phillips, fiddle player, who came as a young lady up into her teen years, and I think she is playing with a Christian female group now touring called High Road, I believe it is. So she's done wonderful things too.
Yes. And we're so thankful because we form these connections, and we see the bluegrass dancers start out as kids, and then we've watched so many of them grow up, and then we see the families come together and they participate. Like Ivy Phillips, I remember hearing you announce her name numerous times at the competition, and the guy with the feather in his hat. We all know some of these people. Rob, yes. Rob Piercy.
That's correct.
Yes, and then Tommy Jackson. We couldn't pull off Fiddlers contest if it wasn't for Tommy Jackson bringing his big group of buck dancers year after year, and he's actually going to be our Grand Marshal this year. So we're super excited for that, because that's a highlight of the whole evening is when those buck dancers get out there.
Stephen, as a teacher up at Holiday School, how are the kids? How are the kids in the different classes up there? How are they involved with an event like next weekend?
So our Beta Club, we have a really good Beta Club sponsor. It's Miss Brandy Horton. She's very good at getting the kids involved. I mean, they're there at ball games working, and I'm sure she'll have them working at the Fiddlers contest as well, doing various roles in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Beta at Holiday has always been very supportive of the Fiddlers contest, which the funding of the Fiddlers contest all goes back to the school. So it's great to see the kids get involved, and then they can see their impact.
And I would imagine the proceeds, as Katelyn just mentioned, it goes back into activities and things, supplies that the schools need. And, of course, we appreciate the fine folks with the Benton County Board of Education. But there's a lot of things, unfortunately, because of tight budget situations, they're unable to purchase up there. But, I mean, these funds will help. They'll help the student. That's what it's all about.
It is all about the students. It is. It truly is. That's who benefits, financially from it, because we're able to provide things that they might not be able to get without such an event and such support from different boards like the TRRD. We have lots of our whole PTH. That's what we're geared for, is to provide for the students. Our local businesses. I'm going to let Katelyn talk about that, because she's done a phenomenal job of getting sponsorships this year to support this event. And parents. Our parents are really good at showing up and working and making this work for their kids.
Yeah. Now, before Katelyn goes over the sponsorship and the appreciation of those fine sponsors for the event, let me just ask you this. Can you tell us maybe in times past, maybe what some of the proceeds from past Fiddlers contest have gone for to help the school?
Well, sure. We've had some playground equipment that we purchased with the proceeds from the event. I don't know if you've ever quoted a price for a slide, but that meets these guidelines. But I mean, we have a lot of new equipment and additions for the school that we're able to do just for this, and we have some new pits, which I'm going to let Katelyn talk more about, because that falls kind of under her category. But we have some new pits there this year, and they're there, to continue to generate. It was an investment to generate funds for the kids.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Katelyn.
So this year, our local businesses have showed out. It's been overwhelming, the support that we've received from so many local businesses on all levels. We changed our sponsorship tiers this year, and how that they would be marketed throughout the year, not only at the Fiddlers contest, but for the entire year. All of our sponsors are a full-year sponsor for Holiday School. Unlike some other schools, we only have one sport, basketball, and we are a lot smaller, but we do have a lot of community events that are held at the school, and we wanted to be able to promote our businesses throughout the full year. So we changed our sponsorship tiers to include platinum, silver, and gold, and we have been just every day I've heard back from businesses that wanted to support in some way. We've had volunteers come in like nothing before, and it's been great. It's helped us raise enough funds through sponsorships to help pay for our pits, which was a big investment for us, because we put new pits in. We barbecue 75 shoulders or so, plus bologna, plus chicken. There's all of these regulations with cooking, because you can't cross-contaminate, things like that. We wanted to make sure our pits were the best of the best, and our team has worked really hard on those. They're actually gearing up to get ready for that today, and Joey Del Pierce and Seth Spivey have worked really hard getting everything ready out there so that we can barbecue next weekend.
Hey, I had some of Seth's fish last week down at Eva, down at the volunteer fire department, and if he can do barbecue like he does fish, we're in for quite a treat.
He is a fish cooker, and we're very fortunate for that. I'm spoiled to good fish and good barbecue.
By the way, congratulations to him on receiving that nice certificate of appreciation for his work with the Eva Volunteer Fire Department. Very well deserved.
17 years on the Eva Fire Department.
Wow.
So we love Holiday. I love Holiday. He loves Eva, and it's been something we've both wanted to give back to the communities that have made us who we are today.
Now, for an event like this, when we talk about the cooking or the barbecue or whatever, the bologna, the chicken, whatever it might be. Do you have to go through, maybe permitting, getting special permits or inspections from someone like the health department or things like that, like a regular restaurant would?
We have to follow guidelines with the health department, just like the school, because we are at the school doing everything through the kitchen. Leslie Pierce is over the kitchen at Holiday, so we'll have some of her great food and cakes. Dad has put in a request for a buttermilk pie numerous times that he said that he wants. But yeah, we follow those regulations so that everything's safe and good for everyone to eat. People come all over just for the food and the music, and it's a busy day. 75 shoulders, that's a lot of barbecue meat to go through, and it takes a full team that's there. They'll start this week, like I said today, getting everything ready, getting the pits fired up today, kind of cleaning those off, even though they are new. There's certain protocols you have to follow to get everything ready, and then we'll have a team that'll work all weekend long, including choppers. Derek Conrad and Tommy Conrad come in and chop barbecue for us every year, and because there's no sleep in barbecue cooking. There's no sleep, so they are committed to this. And here's one thing, even there's so many people that are involved that do not have kids in school at Holiday, and it's because their love of this contest, their love of the community, and what it does. That it's just, you can't. You're involved in it, Flash. You've been involved in it for years. It's just something everyone should have to experience.
You can't, we can talk about it here on the radio, you see us on Facebook, but until you've experienced it in person, you have no clue what all goes into it. A lot of things behind the scenes people never see.
Yes, there's so much behind the scenes. We have these flyers here. You can look them up on Facebook, and you see the payouts over $6,000. But there's sometimes y'all are up till 2 o'clock in the morning with the competition, and it takes a full team to pull this off. But we love the contest and everything that it stands for.
Stephen, any idea whether we talk about the people at the barbecue pits, the people in the concessions, the people on stage, Wayne and Mac on the other side, getting the stages in and off the stage, the competitions. Any idea of how many total people it takes to operate this event?
That is a large number, because you've also got people at the door, concessions. You've got, I'm afraid to even say how many people are working those events, because there are a lot of people that, even us, we're running into each other, and we kind of, just it's a very busy day for us.
And the payouts, the person in charge of making the payouts for the different categories for the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place winners. That's a big responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility. We're giving out over $6,000 in cash this year in prizes, which that's amazing. We have people that come from all over the state, Kentucky. Some come from Mississippi, Alabama, to be part of this, event.
And every now and then you may get a contestant from overseas who just happens to be here. I remember some overseas contestants coming here in the past.
We've had someone from Ireland to join the contest.
Yes.
So that was really amazing. Something new is our Pee Wee Fiddlers, the 10 and under category. That's one of our newer categories. I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out as well this year.
Well, I tell you what, let's do. We want to talk about maybe that more, maybe the other categories of competition that people are in store for next Saturday. But before we do that, let's take a break right now. Luke in the other studio today, if you'll play a spot for our sponsor, Apex Bank, we'll be back with the second portion of Operation 7570. Stay with us.
Hello, everyone. This is Marcus Vine and Sean Hattler with Apex Bank of Camden, and we're getting ready for our 14th annual Easter egg hunt.
That's right, and it's West Tennessee's largest Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 16th, 11 a.m. at Briarwood School Field. There will be over 10,000 eggs, lots of prizes, and the Easter Bunny will be there.
So don't miss it, folks. Bring the children ages 2 to 8, and we will see you on Saturday, April 16th at 11 a.m. at Briarwood Field. Happy Easter, everyone, from Apex Bank.
Apex Bank, building stronger communities together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back this morning to Operation 7570, and in case you just joined us today, in our studios to talking about next week's event up at Holiday, we have Stephen Stokes and Katelyn Spivey. They're involved with a lot of activities. Of course, this is one of the favorite events that they have throughout the course of the year, and as we discussed on the first half of the program, first time we've had it in 3 years. Thank goodness that we're having it this year, and we've really missed it. And, let's get pandemic go away.
It is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 2 years without it was difficult, especially when you're used to doing something. Every Saturday, the third Saturday of April, we knew what our plans were. And when I got married, I told Seth, I said, don't ever plan anything the third Saturday of April because I have plans for life there.
That's right. That's like the third Saturday in October. You don't plan a wedding on a
You
UT
don't.
Alabama football day.
It's just one of those things. You got to lay it out there at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, Steve, I said we want to get into the categories of competition. We definitely want to do that. But, Katelyn, I want to go back to you for a moment because actually about, 3-4 weeks ago, you had the pageants up there. Tell me how the pageants come about a few years ago and where they relate and where they fit into the overall third Saturday in April.
So the Old Town Bluegrass Fiddlers Jamboree pageant is actually the only local pageant outside the fair that our county has. And we started this in probably 2010, possibly. Don't quote me on that.
It's before that.
It may be before that.
I think around 06 or something like that.
So we started those pageants, and it was just another way to tie in something else to the contest, get more people coming in for not only the contest, but to our community. And then if they came to the pageant, they would come back and be in the parade. So there's some good tourism there that we got them coming to our community for that. It started out as just a local pageant, and now it is a preliminary for the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. We had an overwhelming turnout this year, probably the biggest turnout that we've ever had.
93.
Woo!
And they were contestants from all over West Tennessee, even Middle Tennessee. With the traffic on I-40, we had people calling, please don't start without us, because they were stuck in traffic. So they came. I think our winners were actually, most of our winners for the older groups were from outside of our county, and they'll go on and they'll represent us at the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival in May, and then they'll also come back and be recognized on Friday night at the contest during the opening ceremonies and entertainment, and as well they're all in the parade on Saturday.
And when you talk about preliminary for the Strawberry Festival later on down in Humboldt, that's a big honor.
It is a big honor. The Strawberry Festival, that we used to get out of school, I hear, for the Strawberry Festival too back in the day, and it's a big thing for West Tennessee. It's a big tourism driver for our area as well, and we're glad that we can show ourselves there at that pageant.
Yeah, and of course, we've had personnel before be involved with parades down at the Strawberry Festival, maybe over at the Fish Fry, and that brings in, that puts Benton County on the map, of course.
It does. We saw so many come into our pageant. They loved how it was laid out and how the day flowed and everything like that. And 2 years, we were kind of nervous coming back because we didn't know what to expect with anything. Of course, to promote anything, it's twice the price that it used to be for advertising.
Yes, it is.
And we had an amazing turnout, and we're so thankful for that.
Well, I'm sure that you and your sisters have learned a lot working with the pageant process, not just this, but the other pageants. It's helped, with what you're doing at Holiday.
It has. Carrie was actually the West Tennessee Territorial Queen prior to being Miss Tennessee, so she was one that helped us get it off the ground and get it going to be a preliminary for the Strawberry Festival.
Stephen, back to the categories of competition. Lots of categories next weekend. Tell me about some of the categories.
Well, we start off with the guitar. Everything starts at 1:00, and we start off with guitars and the Pee Wee Fiddlers, which I'm looking forward to that because I want to see how many of these are fiddle players are coming up. We have the dobro and lots of other stringed instruments, harmonica, and then of course a lot of people love the buck dancing and the square dancing we have this year. So that will start. What time does that usually start?
That usually starts right at 6 after intermission.
6.
We'll take a supper break about 5 because we all get hungry and depleted, and that barbecue we want some of it before it all goes out.
I was going to say if it's not sold out.
If it's not sold, and then the buck dancing starts off right after that, and then the bluegrass bands. That's probably my favorite category, and there are big payouts on that. And those bands come from all over. Some of them get together during the day and form a band with people they've never met before, and it's always neat to see them come together.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun. Well, big part of the fun, Stephen, is that the pickup band. You may find a certain stranger to put your band together, and they just blend in like they've done it for years and years together.
I was just about to bring that up. It's really cool when you go outside and you see people like they hear something that they like, and they're a musician, so they'll go over and partner up with someone else, and before you know it, you've got another entry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's after they put that together.
Are there several events like this? I know for a while back when I first started getting involved with Wayne a few years ago about it, I know he would go around and promote this contest and other similar events. Are there still other similar events like this around in Middle or West Tennessee?
There are some. There's one up near Smithville, and I know of one in Savannah, and Clark. I don't know if Clarksville is still having theirs. They had one in Clarksville. I don't know if it's still active or not.
Right. We're probably the only one set up like this.
Yes.
There are other bluegrass festivals, but for a contest and things like that, we are one of the only ones in West Tennessee that is set up like this, and I think that's what keeps people coming back.
Now, the one in Smithville, I've watched that on public television, on the Cookville public television station. They're up there every year for that event, and I noticed they get some of the same contestants up there that we've seen down here. You mentioned
Yeah.
Rob Piercy, of course, Ivy Phillips, folks like that, and hey, those are familiar faces, so
Yes.
people go all around here.
They do, and you'll know more of these names since Flash. He hasn't said it, but he is very involved with the Fiddlers contest too. We should be asking you questions about how it runs. He helps run the stage with my dad, Keith Arnold, and they are the MCs for the event, and they do a great job keeping us rolling because it's a long day. It starts like at 1 o'clock, but like I said, it'll go till 1 p.m., 2 p.m. sometimes. And they do a great job, Flash and Keith and Wayne and Betty Jo and everyone on the stage, keeping everything moving in a timely manner.
Now, we focused on a lot of events taking place on Saturday, of course, but, Stephen, things actually get underway next Friday. Tell me about what's going on next Friday night.
Well, we start with our, at Friday night, we have a variety show that starts at 7, and that's when we're kicking off with some opening ceremonies, which we'll be recognizing those winners from the pageant. And then we'll have like I said, we'll have our talent, and that I think will bring in a lot of folks that want to come and enjoy a lot of fun events. We've got a variety of.
We do.
We've got a really good lineup.
Yes.
Let me tell you, it's going to be very entertaining. Lots of laughs.
Yes, we were working on some stuff yesterday. Mark Yarbrough has joined our team at Holiday, and if you don't know Mark, you are in for a treat. And he's got some good ideas to throw in some laughs throughout the night. And my parents say I'm a delegator. I've had a list going of people that I'm like, they'll sing, they're good, I know they'll do good for a while before I'd even ask people. But it's people that come year after year that sing for us. We've got them as young as 5. We've got some that we've got the Streak maybe making an appearance. You never know. Patsy Cline's going to be there, and a little bit of everything.
So you just don't know. It's spontaneity. It's impromptu sometimes, and that's really what makes it fun.
Yes, and we try to bring, Ruthie and Vicky. That was their thing on Friday nights, and they kept us laughing. And we are trying to just keep that momentum up for them because they played such a major role, and so Friday night was their favorite, and we're going to keep it going. And
Stephen, I know up there next to the school, such a well-run community up there. Of course, it's going to be busy, and I know people will be parking over at the Methodist Church some, Church of Christ up there, and you just appreciate the neighbors and the churches up there for allowing personnel to park at their parking lots during this event.
Of course, yes, and they're parked sometimes all the way down toward the cemetery, and they're parked even out to 192.
Yeah.
So, and we welcome that, and all indications are that we will have a very large crowd. We've had a lot of calls and a lot of interest, so from different people that want to join some of the categories and participate in the event. So I'm really hoping that they come and they bring their people with them.
You get personnel from the rescue squad, Benton County Sheriff's Department. They come up and just help out with the things of behind the scenes that we talked about.
Sure.
So certainly hope we don't need them, but we're glad they're there in case we do.
Absolutely. One of the first things we start off with on Saturday too that we haven't mentioned is the parade. That parade, that lineup is at, 9:30? Starts at 9:30
at the cemetery in Holiday. And we encourage, if you have a business or if your child wants to be in the parade, put together a float, a golf cart, decorate it up. We would love to have them. It's a small parade, goes around downtown Holiday, but it is one of the best parades in our area, and we take pride in it. It really kicks us off, and as soon as the parade's done, you can get in line for barbecue.
That's right.
And Christy Perry and Keith Arnold put that parade together every year. Miss Bonnie was very involved in the parade for years, and Christy has fallen into her role and taking care of that.
Absolutely.
And we're just proud of our parade and the fire departments, the rescue squad, the police department, the sheriff's department. They are always involved in it. And we have the classic cars, the Cruise-In Club. They always bring a big crowd for it. So you're in for a treat. And we still throw candy at our parade. I know that's coming a thing at some other parades. We still throw candy. So it's Easter weekend, and bring your kids out there for the parade, and they don't have to run around. They can just get candy thrown to them.
Now, is the parade coming around opposite from what it used to come around
It
the school?
does. It actually starts at the school. It comes from the cemetery and comes to the school first instead of the school last. We rerouted that. It just made the flow a little bit better, especially for lineup and things. And we've been doing that for probably the last...
Yeah, that's 2 times, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably or so, or maybe even a few more. It just made a little more sense to run it backwards. But you can set up anywhere around the school and all the way up to Big Man's coming into Holiday by the post office.
It's an election year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a candidate or two in the parade this year.
I'm sure you will. If you want to see people in Benton County this weekend, it's Holiday, it will be the place to go. And then Big Sandy, you'll need to go there too during election year for sure and
yes,
support these
yes.
events.
Admission price, Stephen, for the event Friday night and on into Saturday.
Okay, so admission on Friday night is $4 for all. For Saturday, it's $4 for students, but adults is $7. And I just don't know where you could get this kind of entertainment for a better price. I mean, that's a really good price for what you're getting.
Now, Friday night for the talent activity on Friday night, concessions will be available. Maybe
Correct.
not so much barbecue, but concessions will be available, and you got a great staff at the concession
We have
stand.
an excellent staff at the concession stand. We really have a lot of great people. Whenever listening to Caitlin talk about Vicki and Ruthie and Miss Bonnie Kelly, I think that's one of the best things about our community and our whole county as a whole. We have such great people who have been there to model for us how these things are to work and the reason behind it. And then you've got folks like Caitlin producing a whole new generation to come up and take the reins and pull this
Yeah.
off.
Well, it may be too late to do it this year, but at some point, maybe, just a display of Fiddlers contest, Bluegrass festivals in the past, with photographs of folks like Miss Bonnie and Ruthie and
Absolutely.
Vicki up there. I mean, that'd be great up
You
there.
can still
Great salute.
you can find things online
Yeah, you
actually
can.
on our website. It's linked and it has links over there for archives. So you can get on there and access that through holidaybluegrass.com.
Yes.
And you can find those archived pictures, videos. It's amazing.
And that's a great way to see if you've never been, is to get on there, and even we're on YouTube as well, to look and see the fifth contest in years past to see what you be exposed to this coming weekend.
Lots and lots of events, and it's going to be fun for all the family. I don't care what age you are, and there's a lot of kids out there at a young age. I'm sure I'll see Scout up there, of course, and they appreciate this tradition.
They do. They really enjoy it, and it's a safe event. It's something safe you can take your family to. Like Flash said, all ages can enjoy this. The kids love the buck dancing, but instruments, you can play an instrument your entire life, and when those kids can get up there and see other kids playing instruments, that might encourage your kid to do that too. And we have some great teachers here in our county that can teach pretty much every instrument on this list.
Stephen, as we get ready to close the program, I might just ask you, schools are winding down. We just come off spring break a few days ago, and we're into the final stretch right now. Has it been a good year up at Holiday otherwise?
It's been a great year at Holiday. I think the kids are just so happy to return to a sense of normal. Parents can come back into school now, and I'm glad for that. I love the support that we have from our parents. So the kids are, like I said, they're appreciating the normalcy, and we're appreciating getting that support back into our walls, inside the walls.
Great event up there this past Wednesday night, the STEM event up there.
yes.
That was outstanding. Those kids were having a great time.
They had a blast. I was afraid because it was after school that we might not have as many children there. But we had a lot of children there with their parents. I loved it because they could get around and do a lot of things and participate in a lot of STEM activities. So and Lynn Cole did a great
She did
job
great.
lining that out.
And a similar event was held down at Briarwood this past Thursday night. If you missed that one, then I think next Thursday night they're going to have the final STEM event down at the Big Sandy School. And, in case you missed the holiday or the Briarwood event, you'll be more than welcome to go down there. And, hey, that's just outstanding.
It was.
Things you don't always learn in the classroom. That's most important. But these kids, they were learning science and technology and math things and, on-hand experience, and that's the best thing.
It is. It is.
And Flash, before I forget, I brought some of our T-shirts to show.
By all means, yes.
So our theme this year is No More Constant Sorrow, Bluegrass is Back. We could not think of what a theme. We're like, we really want to show, like, Bluegrass, we're here. And my sister came up with, what about No More Constant Sorrow? And then, so we have these shirts for sale, go on sale Monday for $15. We were really prepared in 2020. So we have our 2020 shirts for a discounted price of $10.
Woohoo!
And it just really shows what all we have: buck dancing, bluegrass bands, barbecue, the parade. It's just all about us. And these are on sale for $10. You need one of each.
The mascot, the traditional mascot we've seen for years and years. What's the history of the mascot there?
Lord, the Bluegrass Man, I don't even know.
Somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
Yes.
We will probably need to ask Mr. Wayne the history of the Bluegrass Man, so that he even has the Bluegrass Man on the bicycle that goes through the parade.
That's right.
And so we will need to ask him the history of who drew the first one, got him started. But he is our mascot. It wouldn't be Bluegrass without him out there. He's our trademark.
I'm in my late 40s now, and I've always known the Bluegrass Man. So yeah,
he goes way back.
He does.
Are we missing anything, Stephen? Are we missing anything we need to stress here in our closing moments?
Well, speaking of the sponsors, I was just telling Katelyn a few moments ago. Mr. Arnold, our principal, also applied for a grant from the Tennessee Arts Commission and was awarded that grant. So that's another push in helping to fund this event. And to be recognized by that organization, I think, as a leading event in arts. I think that's a huge
outstanding.
I think it's outstanding.
And you can use every little help, every little grant funding. If you get the monies from a grant or TRDD board or whatever, you can use any money, any funds.
Yes,
correct.
Yes, and it's so appreciated.
And it'll be used well.
It will. Katelyn, a closing word from you today, my friend.
I just want to invite everybody out next weekend for a fun weekend, starting with a parade at 10:30 a.m. In Holiday, and stay with us all day. I know it's Easter weekend, there's a lot going on, but this is an event that we're proud of. A lot of work's gone into it, and all the money stays local here in Benton County to support Holiday School.
You may even see the Easter Bunny up there next weekend.
You may.
But it's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to being up there like always. And I'm just glad, thank you for your role and what you do each and every year, not just in Holiday, but throughout all the community. We appreciate it. And, hey, we'll see you next weekend.
I'll be there.
All right.
We will be there.
Look forward to it. Be sure your dad doesn't eat all the barbecue before I get into the...
Hey, you'll have to worry about that buttermilk pie. That's his thing.
All
that
right.
buttermilk pie.
Okay, all right. And give a big thanks to everybody when you see them, whether they're working the barbecue pits next week, working in the cafeteria, folks on stage, whatever, and the musicians that's going to be there, just to give them a great big thank you for the things that they're doing to help Holiday School next weekend. Katelyn, Stephen, thank you very much for being here today. I look forward to next Saturday.
Thank you for having us.
All right, have a great week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our program, Operation 7570. Thank you so much for being with us. We've been on the air for our friends at Apex Bank. We'll see you next Saturday morning.
Hello, everyone. This is Marcus Vine and Sean Hattler with Apex Bank of Camden, and we're getting ready for our 14th annual Easter egg hunt.
That's right, and it's Weston